Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Here for a Tuesday.
Yeah, Kevin, I missed it. Damn it.
Flying through the week, yes. Hey, better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's what I say every month when my period comes, Kev.
You're right.
Ugh, can we not open up with period talk?
Better late than never.
Oh, man. I love this email I got from David. He said, hey, I work for a phone company, and I was assisting customers today when all of a sudden a lady that looks exactly like Ann walks in. I was so excited. I managed to keep my composure while assisting my other customer, and then as soon as I was done, I turned around all excited, and I walked up to her, and I whispered, hey, I'm a huge fan of the KVJ show, and I certainly don't want to make a big deal and embarrass you, but can I ask, are you Aunt Ann? Then she responded, not in a whisper and quite loudly, who the fuck is Aunt Ann?
Oh, no.
Although it sounds like something maybe Ann, like how Ann would react.
No, she likes her fans.
She really does.
When people come up to her to take pictures, she's very gracious.
People get surprised because they're afraid to go up and talk and ask her for a picture or say hello to her, and she's actually very, very sweet. And she can't believe that she has fans. It blows her mind that people love her.
She's got tons of fans, probably more fans than any of us.
She'll be very sweet. She was very sweet with Philip from Bud's Chicken and Seafood.
Aww.
Yeah, she is. She's very gracious like that.
Mm-hmm.
This poor lady in the store, though.
If it's Kevin Ralston, forget about it.
Love you guys. Say hello to Madison and Chelsea. Thank you, David, for that. Got this from Jay Money, back from the fort. Said 3 words for sudden death this week: Green, Borat, Uni. Lowest card has to perform 3 yoga poses wearing the iconic swimsuit. It's the one that Borat had. Comes down the front, banana hammock, just holds in the jumblies.
Yeah. Let's try to get one. I had one a long time ago. Definitely don't fit into it now.
Let's try to get one, and then, save it for the KVJ 5K. You can jog in it.
I feel weird about being naked in front of kids. I don't know. Just something about that.
Mm-hmm. But not a bad idea. I'm not sure if I know 3 yoga poses.
I actually do. Me and Denny's did that awful yoga video.
Couples yoga, yeah.
Couples yoga, and we learned a bunch of. I don't know if we nailed any of them the right way, but
very nice. Yes, if you see that video, it's on our YouTube channel. Go check that out. Got this from Nathan. He said, hey, I had some ideas I want to share with you. 1, Kevin often talks about how people don't listen to one another's opinions and can't seem to have calm conversation about sensitive political topics. Would this make a great podcast? You could have people from opposing sides have a conversation about a topic, which is mediated by Kevin. Rules are be calm, no name calling, and FTC compliance. Maybe FCC is what he meant. I think this would create a lot of conversation and hopefully will help people see the other side of a topic. Be the change you want to see. Yeah, it could be like if you yell or you raise your voice, you get booted.
Or you get shocked.
I like that
with
too.
the dog collar.
That might even be more fun. Yeah.
You come in here, shit's about to go down.
Got to talk calmly about it. Yeah. It just, honestly, it really does amaze me so much because, when I listen to everybody on all sides, I think that there are people that have got some really good points and no one hears anybody because you're yelling so much. It's like if somebody just sit down and say, hey, look, I got some concerns. Here's how I feel. And the other person's like, well, here's how I feel. Then you'd be like, okay, well, then let's come up with a way to fix this so we're both happy.
Just this morning, I saw it in real time happening on Facebook. Someone posted something about the anthem. The other person, and the way they posted it was almost kind of like, this is sad that our country is fighting blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And really that was the tone of it. Yeah. The next comment was they were pro on one side of the argument. Mm-hmm. And they didn't like the post, and they said, because of the way you're approaching it, I don't want to be friends, take me off. Right off the bat, just from the post alone, they didn't want to be friends with that person ever again.
Yeah, it seems so drastic.
It's real drastic.
It's breaking up friendships. We just got to listen to each other.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy. You know what I was thinking was I was watching that movie, The Kingsman. Virginia, you recommended.
It's a great movie, isn't it?
Yeah, and the sequel is now out in theaters. And in the original, the diabolical plan is that they turn everyone's cell phone into this way to emit frequencies that turns everybody into a crazy anger ball, and they can't help but trying to attack each other and fight to the death. And I'm like, I was watching them, I'm going, it seems like that's what's happening now.
Do we already have that?
Do we need to check our cell phones to see if it's emitting some kind of frequency that's just turning us into like awful, evil maniacs that can't listen and just start yelling at everybody?
Well, it just seems like whatever someone's arguing, it can be about anything. If it's their argument and you disagree with it, being right is the most important thing right now.
Yeah.
People don't want to compromise. People don't want to open up their ears or just even consider anything. And I'm talking about any kind of drama that's going on. It's automatic. Go fuck yourself. I don't agree with you. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Raising your voice and yelling more than the other person is not going to win the arguments. People don't seem to get that. So I like it. I would do it. In fact, it'd be interesting. You know, I'm sure that even just talking calmly on it and discussing and just saying, hey, look, this is just how I feel. And, you know, a lot of times when I talk to my wife, it's the one thing she always, had told me with things. She's like, going, look, you really can't fault somebody for how they feel. You know, they may be misguided in their feelings, and you can help maybe direct them so that say, hey, look at it from a different way. But, you know.
What do you do with your feelings? And how do you act with your feelings?
We feel the way that we do, and you shouldn't be ashamed of your feelings, and you should be able to express them. Say, hey, look, this is just how I feel.
Your wife can't help it. She just doesn't feel like she wants to sleep with you.
I agree, yeah.
She feels grossed out when you lay by her. It's her feelings.
I know. Can't
You
fault
can't
her.
be
She's
mad
how she
at her.
feels. Yeah.
You can't.
I got to be better.
Less gross.
Another point he brought up, I'm a guy. I've been lucky enough to have had 2 mammograms in my life. I tend to joke about it, but males do get breast cancer too. Perhaps
That's
Jaybird and
true.
Denny's going to get mammograms will make some noise about breast cancer awareness and show people that mammograms aren't scary and are super important.
Yes,
Good point,
they
Nathan.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up. Be a good idea. Maybe all of us.
That's
could
why
do
I'm
that.
getting pink in my hair right now.
Isn't it also Check Your Nards month as well, or is that November? I thought that are they not paired in the same month when guys are supposed to check for testicular cancer?
I don't know.
That's Movember. No Shave Movember.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
Movember.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so boobs in October, nuts in November.
Nuts and butt you need to get checked.
No, butts December.
Is it butts December?
No, that's baby Jesus' birthday. Let's not do butt checking during December.
Why can't you butt check?
Is it
during
really?
Jesus' birthday?
Is it butt check December? Is that?
I don't know.
You just made that up.
I think nards and butts they're kind of connected. I mean, sort of.
If your nard is connected to your butt, you got a problem medically.
Yeah. Someone else said, I know you guys partner with Little Smiles, but there is a charity called St. Baldrick's that raises money for pediatric cancer research. Essentially, you create a team that raises money, and one member shaves their head as a representative to show solidarity with the children who are sick. Since Kevin is debating going bald, maybe there's a way to do it for a cause.
There you go.
Yeah.
We've actually been involved. Little Smiles does stuff with St. Baldrick's for years. So, yes, we know all about it. We've actually hosted hair shaving big events in high school gymnasiums several times.
So thank you very much, Nathan,
You
for
big-
all the talks.
You bick your head, I'll bick mine. I've been growing my hair out for a while. I have not had a short haircut in a minute. I know it's short to you guys, but I usually, back in the day, I'd always have a real close fade. So
Yeah.
if you want to do a little solidarity.
Yeah, you look great with it. It's a good
I
haircut
actually
for you.
don't. I have pocky marks in my scalp. I actually do not look good with a shaved head.
You know, I've kind of noticed there's I've kind of seen some people as I pay more attention now. There's some people, it's weird things. Like they've got fat rolls on the back of their
Yes,
head.
I have a little, not fat roll, but I have weird. If I shave my head, if my hair's not growing in, it looks like somebody was taking a pen and jamming it in my scalp. I've got divot head.
It looks like what do they call those Sharpays? Is that it? Where you
Yeah.
got the yes.
Dog.
And like I was sitting there looking at them, like going, how do you get rid of fat on the back of a head?
You don't.
Heads are just like butts. Some of them are gross.
Is there some way to work that out, or there's
Dude,
some...
I mean, if you got Sharpay head and fucking, life is short. Deal with your Sharpay head.
I was just like,
You know what I mean?
How
I
do you
gotta
deal with it?
Wear a hat.
I got to deal with all my weird shit that I got. They got to deal with their Sharpay head.
Yeah. Okay. It's from Keith. Said, hey, I wanted to ask why you guys are avoiding talking about the whole NFL and Trump stuff. I know you want to stay out of that stuff because it's 50-50 for whatever. But you also say we need to have talks. Each time something happens, you say we need to open the dialogue. The thing is, a lot of what politics is involves you and everyone around you, whether you like it or not. Talking a little, at least about the major stories, could open dialogue for people, and it could share options and create bridges instead of walls. Yes.
Well, I think we did talk about it a little bit, and I guess my question to them would be, have they heard in both shows entirely the last 2 days?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be the one thing. And I like the idea of possibly doing a podcast show. I'll think about it, think about how we could do it. But honestly, it's not that I don't want to talk about it. I'd love to talk about it. But, the one thing about our regular show is that, we're there for entertainment. And so, I would want to at least separate the two. It's not like I'm scared. I mean, I'm
We've
happy
dealt
to
in
talk
stuff
about
like
it.
that before.
I'm happy to talk about it and give you all my opinions on it. I think just listening to, the way I've talked, I think you all know how I feel about a lot of the stuff that's going on. And I just hope that whatever the dialogue is we wind up getting to solutions. That's what I like to hear.
But
I'm tired of the fighting.
I'm even noticing people who keep on saying, we got to come together. We got to make sure we're together.
Yeah.
Go fuck it. They're even now saying,
know.
go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So that's where it gets
No matter
silly.
where you...
Like I said, our phone, check your phone. Your phone has to be emitting it's emitting some kind of hate, I don't know, sound that's going on for people. Because, when you get to the point where somebody's going, hey, let's just try to figure out some solutions and let's hear everybody's point. Fuck you. You're like,
You fucking snowflake.
what's coming out of your phone? What's going on? Why are you so angry? Why? Isn't that what we want? Don't we want something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
Don't we want a solution or no? And a lot of people, they don't want a solution. They want to be able to have a reason to keep fighting.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I mean,
and those people, you know what? What are you gonna do?
online, social media, it's just a cesspool of horse shit. It really is. There's so much negativity. I get that there's some great stuff that comes from social media.
Yeah.
But if you don't think social media creates some type of mood or atmosphere, you're living in a la land.
It seems like it's caused a lot more problems. I don't remember these kind of problems before the prevalence of social media.
Well, think about it. Anybody at any time can go public. You can go Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Anytime now. Everybody. And if she wants to get her own Facebook Live channel and cook eggs, she can do that.
And
I would watch that, by the way.
I think that would actually
if
kill.
Aunt Ann is cooking eggs on Facebook Live, I'm locked in.
I think I would watch too.
And I saw a great quote today that I just love, and I think it sums up a lot of this too. And it said, the only way to avoid pissing people off is to do nothing important. And, I kind of thought that was like something I needed to listen to. And I'm like, you're right. There are some times where if you try to walk that line and say, I'm never going to piss anybody off, you're never going to do anything important.
Trust, we have no shortage of pissing people off. We all are very opinionated, two especially. I mean, I get a comment every day, at least one, scathing. I can't believe you fucking said that. You're dumb.
I'll keep them coming.
Keep them coming. I love them.
Got this from Curtis in the land of Pizzle. Said, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for someone else to email in asking what had happened to the little girl in the possession that Jason was going to film for The Exorcism. Got to take matters into my own hands. What happened?
Hurricane Irma happened, and all that shit got taken
Did
up.
it blow the demon away?
No, but I have not talked to them or been able to get a hold of them since the hurricane.
Oh, gosh, that's going to be awful. A possessed child in a hurricane?
Yeah, they're not returning my calls.
Ooh.
Wow. Maybe they lost service.
I can only call and text so many times.
Yeah. Oh, that's you know what? Maybe the storm saved you.
I don't think I was doing it anyway, to be quite honest with you. Ann was really upset about that, and some of my other families were just saying, what are you doing?
Sometimes it's just not worth it, huh?
Oh, some family members said, you should do it. Don't be a wuss. This shit's not real. Prove to people that it's not real. I can't believe people are this upset about it. It's all over the place.
We talked a little bit about Kingsman 2 a second ago. Keith had said, hey, I don't watch trailers. I don't take anybody's word for it. The reason that I don't do this is because people are finicky. The person giving their opinion may be having a bad day, or maybe they don't like an activity in a movie, what have you. I don't watch trailers because they often show too much of the movie and ruin it. Case in point, Terminator Genesis revealed a huge plot point in the trailer, as did Batman vs. Superman. I just know what genres I like: sci-fi, fantasy, comic book, thriller, action flicks. If the poster looks good and the actors look good, I'm going to go see it. All that being said, Kingsman 2 did not suck. There were some campy aspects of the film and the action and the technology area, but it did not suck.
Ah.
I was a little outlandish, but not Bollywood outlandish.
Okay.
I completely agree what they just said about listening to critics and all that kind of shit, because they will sway you. And there's been so much shit out there where, oh, don't see it, it sucks because I'm a critic. And I loved the movie. I loved the show.
Mm-hmm.
You got to follow your heart on that shit.
Yeah, I think to me, I listen to culmination. I kind of sit on a while, and then I listen to what several people say, and then I kind of like blend them all into one and say, okay, if a lot of people are saying this, then I'll kind of like buy a little bit more into it.
If I were to listen to critics about not watching the movie Sleepaway Camp, by the way, please watch that if you have not seen it, 18 or older. I would never have seen it And I mean, most people would watch that say that's a shitty movie. I loved it. It's a great movie.
I listen to Twitter Mike.
Twitter Mike's very good.
If he says it, I listen.
Twitter Mike, but Twitter Mike is one of those kind of critics who he watches it with an open mind, and he doesn't trash something just to trash it.
He's of the
Yes,
people,
he
too.
is of the people.
He really does give a good review.
Mm-hmm. You know, the thing about it, too, I saw an article today. It was kind of interesting, and it talked about, you know, there are many things that I think have caused the downturn in the box office. If you didn't know, like this last summer was like the worst year, I think, collectively that they'd had in like 20, 30 years, something like that, at the box
wow.
office. And a big part of it, obviously, your Netflix and everything else, and it's so easy to get things at home now, and people would rather be there. But the other thing they said, another factor that goes into the whole reason, is they had said Rotten Tomatoes. And so many people were, unless they're seeing a movie that's scoring 70 or 80 or 90, are just saying, I'm not going to go waste my time. And so that influence of Rotten Tomatoes is actually hurting the box office, they believe.
That's why I say I'm stop listening to critics, because I was finding myself seeing a Rotten Tomatoes score, going, okay, it's above 80. Let me Google it, see what people are. I was doing all this research, and there was some movies that were 90% I didn't really care for, and there was other shit that was 40%.
Yeah.
I loved.
Mm-hmm.
So screw those critics. Screw Rotten Tomato.
I wonder how the film industry as a business thinks about Rotten Tomatoes then, if it's causing their whole entire market share of entertainment dollars spent to go down.
Well, they can't like it, and here's the thing that, you know, they're probably saying, and I think is very true, that people are more likely to rate something if they don't like it than if they like it.
That's true. Complaining is so much easier to do than praising.
And you have more passion in it.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of people, it's kind of like what we were talking about that today, just even in relationships, and it's just like life. So many people, men and women, were complaining that, in a sense, they were keeping score too much of the bad things that their partner was doing, and both of them, on both sexes, felt underappreciated, and they felt like they weren't getting any pats on the back for the stuff that they do. It was just all a bunch of criticism, and that is our human nature, and that's what we do more often, that we all need to be aware of, that we will go on to say how awful the product is or how upset we are at the service, but if we love something, we're like, cool, and then we go out and play with it, and then we forget about it and move on.
Humans, we are a weird breed, man. We really kind of, we're very emotional, and we kind of fuck shit up on our own. A lot of problems we bring on ourselves. I'm talking emotionally.
Yeah.
And he's talking personally.
And personally. Yes. Totally. But I am a human.
Mm-hmm. So you probably need to keep that in mind, and they may say that, say, hey, look, I mean, we have to find a way to balance this out, because people are trying to use Rotten Tomatoes to decide if a movie's good or not, but all they're seeing is a culmination of all the negativity that this movie got, and they're trying to look for positivity. And there's none there.
It's a real easy.
Or at least not enough.
It's very easy to be negative on social
anything.
On social, but social media, it takes zero talent to sit your fat ass down. This sucks. I've never done anything in my life creatively. Send. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Well, I think honestly what Rotten Tomatoes probably ought to do, instead of getting everybody's opinion from wherever and you get to go in and throw in your negative comments, is they probably should start having theaters and showing movies to people. And that's just, when you walk out, a simple thumbs up, thumbs down.
They do that sometimes in the beginning stages of a movie.
Yeah.
Before it's released, they'll show it to audiences, and then they'll all vote. And that's a lot of times whether a movie will be made or not.
Yeah, and say, look, we'll give you a free movie pass on the way out if you just click this button, one or the other. And as people are walking out, you hit the button, you get a movie ticket. Hit the button, you get a movie ticket.
They say, especially with the new directors and writers, when they're trying to get that movie out, they have to go to that premiere or whatever it is. But it's not a premiere, but it's the thing where they have to watch it, then they vote for it, and then they send all that information to the execs, and then they say, all right, this is what you got to change about your movie.
Wow.
And they have to be there and listen to people talk about their movie.
That's
Yeah.
intense.
It's very intense.
Another recommendation for the TV show Power. Heard a lot about that. It's on Stars. It's about a drug distributor in New York City.
I told you about that one.
Yeah, it's on my queue list, who's involved with other gangs and cartels. But you get sucked in because the main character starts cheating on his wife with his old high school sweetheart, and she's in the FBI.
Oh.
And she's investigating the street named Ghost, who is the main character, but the whole time she's sleeping with him.
I love that. I love the show, and the first season and a half I really liked. Starting to get to the point where, all right, a little Grey's Anatomy, where, oh, that shit's happening now. Oh, and they got out of that one. They're still alive.
That's what I think, honestly. I think the goal for a lot of shows is let's have 3 solid seasons. And that's realistically what a lot of shows give you is 3 solid seasons. And let's cut out all the fat and let's understand where we're going to take this show in season 1, 2, and 3, and let's go after it.
I think I know you so well. If you were to watch Power, you would absolutely get annoyed by the main drug guy and the FBI, their relationship, the love.
To a certain extent, because
you'd get old with it.
then it almost turns campy and it turns like, oh, come on. Like, you're
Well,
really in
you
the FBI and you can't figure this out?
Yeah, and then
And you got to watch that. That's a fine line. I've seen that been done almost a lot lately in different shows and movies where they're real close to the actual bad guy. And you get it for a while, but after a certain element, you're like, okay, you were trained and you're at a high level of being a student observant, yet you don't notice anything.
She's part of the whole investigation at some point, but then she's on the stand as an FBI guy, testifying for or against. It just doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
But I like it. I recommend it.
And with that review, it's just jump back a little bit on my cue sheet.
No, you would like it.
Yeah.
You would like season
But
1.
see, that's it. You know, it's like I have all these. I was looking last night on my Netflix, and you got that whole. I think I've told you about that before. My list. You go on. If you see something you want to see, you click it, and it'll put it on your list, so that you're not always having to scan all the way through Netflix. Like I've got about 20 shows and movies right now that are on my list, so I'm not always spending all that time looking for stuff.
The thing that to me can be a make or break with some of these seasons is when they have a good first 2 season to 3 season run, and then they start to bring in that second round of characters that are pretty much going to be primetime players in the series. That can make or break it.
Absolutely.
You bring in shitty people, then it starts to go down.
Mm-hmm. It's got to make sense. Boy, talk about a show that might have just shot itself in the foot.
I bet I know which one you're talking. Is it the Kevin James one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah. Fans of the show are pissed, and no one is complimentary or likes the way that they have handled killing off of Kevin's wife. It happened last night on the season premiere, and you know they were bringing in Leah Remini, and I remember I even just remember the promo where they had Kevin James, his wife, on the show, and then Leah Remini, and there was almost like a jokey kind of like thing, but it felt weird. It's almost like if you had a dude's wife and his girlfriend sitting on a couch, and you're just like going, man, somebody needs to tell her like he's not so into his wife, and he's.
It feels like he cheated on the girl that was his wife.
Well, they said
and now they just killed her off.
They said they gave the whole thing, the whole explanation of how she died took less than a minute. They said
20 seconds, and they did it with a postcard that came from her gym. And it was like a year ago she died, like going, boy, I'm sick of getting these things. And the daughter grabs it, and she's like going, yeah, I'm going to call the gym right now and tell them stop sending this stuff. He's like, oh, wait, before you throw that out, there's a coupon for free Kung Fu on it. And so, ha.
Cue the canned laughter.
People are like going, so you kill her in 20 seconds, don't explain how she died, she's been gone for a year, and you end it with a bad Kung Fu joke.
But with all that said,
yeah,
seeing some of the comments on social media, people just, are beside them. This is deplorable. I can't believe it. And it's so terrible that you guys would write this in there. It's a TV show. Fucking relax. The world will still go on.
I was surprised people were that passionate about
they were
it,
so...
Which lets you know, I guess, hopefully either people were just finding a reason to be mad or people really did like the show.
They were like, this is so terrible that they would do this to somebody. This is not the right way. This is disgraceful how to deal with death. I'm like, guys, it's a fucking TV show.
I guess give them a little bit more time to figure out how they're going to do it. But yeah, you know what? There is something that's true about that. And we've learned that from quitting and getting blown out of radio stations, is that people like to have closure. And I think the smart thing to do, and people want it. They nowadays, people expect it, and it's a courtesy. And people are like thankful when you do it.
And the news got out before the episode that aired last night that they had just kind of fired that other chick.
Yeah, the behind the scenes on
the
didn't sound
behind the
pretty
scene
either.
is really kind of awful how the other chick just got the boot.
And I think her character was beloved. I think some people loved her character. And for those people that did, it felt disrespectful to the character. So maybe they're a little bit too close to it, and you're right. It's a TV show, but still.
Look, I get mad about TV shit too, so what am I talking about? I'm just being hypocritical on the microphone again.
Yeah. Quick TV notes. Pretty Little Liars getting a spin-off, so if you like the PLL, like in my house, yay. PLL.
I'd peg you more as a Gilmore Girl.
I think that was watched too. Yeah, this is Caitlin mainly. Yeah, that's where I get all my what the chicks are into these days.
I used to love the Gilmore Girls, man.
Yeah,
Could not get
I
into
think she
the
watched that,
couldn't
yeah.
get into the reboot. Just couldn't.
Yeah, okay. Couldn't do it, huh?
I don't like a grown-up Rory.
And then this surprised me too. I didn't
That
realize
sounds
this.
creepy. I'm sorry. Not.
I like them
No,
young,
that's not what I meant.
preteen preferably.
I can hear people
Then
tell
she turned 16. I was like, nah.
No, that's not what I meant.
I'm out. I want nothing to do with these 18-plus chicks. They're no fun.
That's so not what I meant.
Do you know they're doing a sequel to It?
Yeah, well, it's part 2 because
I didn't know that.
yeah, they didn't tell the whole story in the first one. And this is because the original one was a
okay.
2-parter.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yes. It was 4 hours long.
Okay. I didn't even get that. So I saw that, and that today I just finally realized.
A
Yeah,
lot of
it's-
people loved the first half of it, the original, and then the second half. And I've told you before, it gets a little hokey. It's like an alien, and it's weird. They're adults now. The first half is dealing
okay,
with the clown as kids. Very creepy, very scary. And that's
Yeah.
what this first movie was.
Okay.
Now, the second half is going to be dealing with the adult part.
I wonder if they'll hear some of those old complaints and like try to make it better. Maybe overall the whole thing will be better than the original.
Me and Ann both did not like the second half. I remember us watching it going, this is really shitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be hitting theaters September 6, 2019.
Okay.
Oh, right around the corner.
So you're waiting 2 years to get the sequel to It.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you hear those things and they're going, oh my gosh, never ever. And then, as you start to get older, man, life flies by.
It does.
It's kind of like a weird thing they do to you.
It is even shitty things that suck. They go quick now.
Yeah. From the age 7 to 11 seemed like it was 30 years.
Yeah, as a kid, man, it did. It seemed like everything was taking for so long.
11 to 44 for me seemed like it took about
Oh.
8 weeks.
Gee, and you're right. With every year, it gets quicker, man.
It's crazy, man. Got to give a little birthday shout out to Jessica Estrada, a.k.a. Jess from Allentown. Chris from Easton, PA, said, I'm forever grateful for her for putting me on to the KVJ show.
Aww.
And then Jess herself wanted to give a little big thank you to my wife, Angie, for surprising me for my birthday with my awesome sweatshirt and hat. Also, a special shout out to Sarah from Sasser Salt for making sure that it got here for today, and also for making sure it was discreet so I wouldn't catch on to what it was. Best birthday gift ever. You can see she's got the KVJ Show trucker hat and KVJ Nation hoodie.
Nice.
Yeah, I checked our recent numbers, and we are crushing in Allentown, PA.
Yeah. Thank you to Jess.
We got some big numbers in PA.
Thank you to Jess. All because of you. And if you would like to get some KVJ merchandise, right now our sales for the next week and a couple days is going to be going to hurricane relief. In connection with our partner Sasser Salt, all the proceeds from the KVJ show sales will be going to help with hurricane relief. We're going to be giving a good chunk of the money to the Island Rod Beer Company, who's doing great stuff in the Keys, but we are also keeping our peepers on all the help that needs to happen for Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Cuba, so other places that have been affected as well. So we will get to that. Let me see here. A couple things just wrapping up today. Quick after takes. We were talking about Tinder earlier on the show, and we got an email from a girl saying, hey, I just saw my best friend's boyfriend on Tinder, and the profile picture he used had my girl in it. She thinks that they're in a solid relationship, but should I tell her?
Yeah, because if she's in the picture, that means she was with him when he posted it, which is like overlap.
When you first told me that, that didn't register to me.
Yeah.
And then that makes sense. It's very sketchy. That. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was her head was turned to the camera. But she obviously knows her friend well enough to say, no, that's my friend, and she probably knew the photo. But somebody texted in and said, my boyfriend's picture was on Tinder. And when I made a fake profile to find out if he would bite, it turned out it was someone using his picture to catfish girls.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that does happen a
gosh.
lot. I know 3 people that have had their pictures jacked from social media, and other people have used it to catfish, and it causes about a month full of drama for the person.
Yeah.
Guys or girls?
Both, on both cases.
Really?
Both cases, yes.
So just kind of a quick caution before, if you were in this situation, do not jump to conclusions because this kind of stuff happens.
It may not really be them. It
Yeah.
could be them with their picture stolen.
Well, I mean, that stuff does happen. It happened to you where you were calling some other woman and you weren't calling some other woman, and your wife is going, why are you calling another woman?
Yeah. That was a weird, I don't even know that I was getting catfish. I think it was just, I
No,
don't know
but
what that
my
was.
point is
Yeah,
weird shit
don't jump to
does happen
conclusions.
sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. And the video of the dance team at Miami Northwestern High School is catching a lot of steam on the KVJ Show Facebook page. A lot of people going on there and sounding off on their comments on it. They were wearing like a regular dance uniform, but they have added fish stockings, garter belts, and a lot of
fishnet stockings.
Fishnets.
Totally different from fish stockings.
Yeah. Fish stockings are not sexy.
Fish stockings are gross. Fishnet, that's sexy.
Wonder if you can get that from, what's this Guy Harvey collection?
Oh, I'm making you some fish stockings now for Halloween.
Yeah, so a lot of people sounding off on that. And, we'd commented about the gymnast outfits. And I'd made the comment earlier that, but it seems like gymnast outfits are for functionality and these dance uniforms seem to be more for sexuality. But somebody texted in and said, if gymnast outfits are for functionality, why do the men wear pants? Nice try, though. So,
Well, the men don't do the same gymnastics events that the women's do.
So eat that.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, men.
So if you'd like to sound off on that, you can go to the KVJ Show Facebook page. Any comments, send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com. Questions about the KVJ 5K Glow Run. I know Sarah from Sasser Salt. She said, you know what? Haven't had time to train. I think I'm just going to walk this thing with a beer. And you know what? I might join you.
Look good, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that sounds like a really fun team.
Yeah.
Walking fast with beer? Yeah.
Who said you had to walk fast?
Yeah. Walk slow with beer.
Enjoy the ride, dude.
No matter, it's a 5K, just showing up. What it's all about is raising money for a charity, Little Smiles. $35 for adults, $30 for kids. Going to be plenty of beer there. I'm excited. The craft beers you got, Funky Buddha, Goose Island, Magic Hat, all going to be represented. Lots of awesome food, live music, games for the kids, so bring them out. They've got glow-in-the-dark ping pong and cornhole. So you got all that kind of fun stuff going on, plus the actual walk, run, race, jog, trot itself.
Yes, all along the water. It's gorgeous.
And it's a glow run. So, and in your registration bag, you get the glow tee, finisher medal, and glow swag. So get it today. KVJ5K.com. You can still sign up. And yes, there is space. KVJ5K.com. All right, you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.